A dangerous person can only last so long on charm alone. After that, they need something stronger. Procedure, caution, delay, institutions willing to reduce friction when friction is exactly what should stop them. By the end of this video, you will understand why cases like Epstein are not just about individuals. They are about systems that choose containment over truth. What this video is really about. This video is about institutional behavior. What happens when organizations, legal structures, gatekeepers, and social systems face a person who is risky, connected, and reputationally expensive to confront? Too often, the answer is not decisive action, it is management. That is the real angle here, not simply whether institutions knew everything, but how often systems appear to respond to danger by narrowing exposure instead of confronting it fully. In the Epstein case, one of the most discussed institutional moments was the 2008 non-prosecution agreement in Florida. That deal has been widely criticized because, to many observers, it appeared to deliver extraordinary leniency when set against the seriousness of the allegations. That does not mean every official involved acted with the same motive. Institutional decisions are complex. Legal processes have constraints. Different actors may justify outcomes in different ways. But to the public, the message was hard to miss. A connected man appeared to receive treatment that did not resemble ordinary justice. And that perception matters, because institutions do not only make decisions, they teach the public what kind of behavior power can survive. Institutions often do not protect danger dramatically, they do it bureaucratically. Through cautious language, narrow deals, delayed action, internal risk calculations. The quiet preference for reputational stability over moral clarity. That is what makes institutional protection so difficult to confront. It rarely looks like open approval, it looks like process. And process can do something very useful for power. It can cool outrage, fragment responsibility, slow momentum, make no single person appear fully accountable for the outcome. That is the mechanism. When institutions treat danger as a problem to manage rather than a truth to expose, they do not merely fail passively. They can extend the life of the threat. That is the deeper pattern, not corruption in the cartoon sense, something colder than that. Systems doing what systems often do when risk collides with status, protecting themselves first. So what does this reveal beyond Epstein? It reveals that institutions are often most skilled at preserving legitimacy, even when legitimacy is exactly what should be under question. That is the darker meaning. People assume institutions exist to stop danger. Sometimes they do, but sometimes they absorb it, soften it, delay its consequences, because full confrontation would expose too much weakness, too much failure, too much complicity inside the system itself. That is why institutional failure can feel so cold. It is not always loud, it is procedural, not chaotic, organized, not emotional, administrative. And that is how serious harm can remain survivable for far too long. The clearest conclusion is this. Verdict. Institutions can make dangerous people harder to stop when they prioritize containment, reputational control, and procedural caution over moral courage. That does not mean every institutional actor is corrupt. It does mean systems can produce corrupt outcomes without every person inside them sharing the same intent. And for ordinary people, the result looks the same. Delay, softness, reduced consequences, extended harm. That is the warning, not only that dangerous men exist, but that institutions can become the architecture that keeps them viable. So here is the question. When institutions reduce consequences for the powerful, are they failing or functioning exactly as status systems are built to function? If you are watching The Unveiled Darkness, subscribe. Next, watch the elite world you were never meant to enter, because the final step in this story is the divide itself. the closed world where access, status, and insulation make ordinary accountability weaker.